Warning, we are not trained or licensed professionals. Do not take any advice that we give as official doctoral prescribed medical treatment. We only use the name as a means to appreciate cinema as a therapeutic device, not to be confused with drugs, antidepressants, or any other forms of enhancements that you might find in legal states. Please enjoy responsibly.
Additional disclaimer. If the film says we can say it too. So check the film rating, and that will be our episode rating.
This is Film Therapy. Again.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, I am Jake. Hello.
Hello, I'm Madison.
Welcome to our season finale. We
Yeah.
apologize for it being a little late, but we've had a lot of schedule coordination, and we had 4 movies to watch. So,
Yes.
yeah, welcome to this episode. This is going to be our season finale for season 1, and then we will be taking a break for a while, an unspecified amount of time. But yeah, so we will update you on that. Just follow us on Instagram, on our Instagram page at Film Therapy Podcast, and that is where all of our updates go.
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to be talking about the Alien quadrilogy of Alien, Aliens, Alien Cubed, and Alien Resurrection. I've seen all of these movies multiple times. I have seen both cuts of every movie, and this was Madison's first time watching all 4 of them, I believe, right?
Yes.
I guess without further ado, we will start with Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. Do you want to start us off?
Sure, here's my recap. Directed by Ridley Scott, this sci-fi film came out in 1979 and stars Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. Other stars include Tom Skerritt, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Ian Holm, and Yaphet Kotto. A crew aboard a commercial spaceship wakes up mid-journey out of their cryosleep to aid a distress signal from another vessel. After landing, they find a strange craft with a nest of eggs, and one hatches and attaches to Kane, sending him into a coma. This plants an alien inside of him, which bursts from his chest and becomes a full-grown alien that goes on to attack the rest of the crew. Ripley is the final girl and escapes narrowly with the ship's mascot, a cat, Jonesy. The first one, Alien. I was impressed by how artsy it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting them all to kind of be like the second one, but we'll get into that. So, like, the slow shots in the beginning, the pacing wasn't too quick and actiony, and it took a while for the story to unfold, which I liked. It didn't just really jump into there. We got to know some of the characters and what they're doing, why they're on the ship, why they're on this planet. We get to establish some relationships before shit starts hitting the fan. So I liked that. And then when shit does hit the fan, I also enjoyed that part too, because I was telling Jake that I thought like the scariest part of all of them maybe were the face-sucking aliens. What do they call them?
Facehuggers.
Facesuckers? Okay. Yeah, I thought those were really creepy, and like the way they have their tail and they like wrap around your neck and then get inside you. Oh, I hate that. And I just think they were designed really well. I think the design of the alien and those face suckers in general, and like all the eggs and the queen and everything, it was very unique. And they did a good job with that. And then even though you do the CG stuff later on in the movies, but the original like special effects, was it animatronics or was it puppets or?
I believe it was like animatronics. It's a guy in a suit for the first one.
Okay.
So the first Alien is one of my favorite movies ever. I love the atmosphere and the pace and the slow build and the way it's shot and the music and the acting and the effects and how scary it is and how just it's such a horrifying idea, and it's such an original idea, and it's so good for lack of a better phrase. What I like is that how, like you said, how with the crew of the ship, how you get a sense, even just in a few brief scenes, you get a sense of how like close-knit of a group that they feel, and how they each have like a specific role and a specific dynamic, and how you just get that, like how authentic it feels even in those few scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So the trailer for this movie is horrifying in a good way.
What does it consist of?
It starts off like the opening of the movie, where it just shows like the title slowly forming, and then it's just like shots from the movie, and then like this like just like siren sound, and it's just like amazing. It's so minimal and it's so good.
Okay.
I will put the link so you can put it in the if you want to. And it doesn't spoil the movie either. That's the best part, is like it's not like, oh, we're gonna just, you know,
yeah,
it doesn't give everything away.
No, because I cannot stand that anymore. That's why I don't watch trailers these days.
Same.
It's because it just
Same.
gives it all away, and I don't need that. A teaser is all I need, if anything. I don't like to really read synopses. I judge it by the title and who's in it.
Yes, and the director,
which is not very good, but you know.
So I haven't seen Prometheus or Alien Covenant, although I would like to. But I kind of love the fact that like the alien ship that where John Hurt's character Kane finds all of the eggs. I like that that like we don't get an explanation for that. It's just there because just the mystery alone is like enough, and it doesn't like detract from the main story.
Totally.
One piece of foreshadow. Also, spoilers for this movie. So when we talk about Aliens, we'll talk about spoilers for the first two. In Alien 3, we'll talk about spoilers for the first three, etc. So, yeah. So if you've only seen like Alien Resurrection, but not the other ones, and you listen to that part, we're probably going to talk about spoilers from the previous movies, but you probably figured that out by the time you get to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, Ash, the android, is Ian Holmes' character, is the one to suggest that they have to go check on the creature, which is like foreshadowing. When they're going down to the planet, Ash is like, it's like a distress. I think that's when I meant, because Ash is like, it's a call. We have to go down and see what it is. Mm-hmm. Like he's the one pushing for it all the way through.
Yeah, because he's programmed to, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then later on, when Dallas, the captain, breaks quarantine procedures. And then later on, like Ash does something, and Ripley just calls them out both times. I'm like, Ripley's just like amazing.
She is
in all four movies. She is the best,
and she's different in all four movies too. But she's still the best.
Yeah. It's like when you said about Meg Ryan in When Harry Met Sally. How she has different hairstyles in every time period, and then I'm like, yeah, that's like Sigourney in all four of these movies. That she has a different hairstyle every time. And they all look great.
And they all look great.
The actors in real life, so far, have died in real life in the order the characters die in the movie.
That's so weird.
Yeah, especially according to the director's cut, because there's an additional scene with Dallas being cocooned. And while I do like that scene, I think it breaks the pacing. So for me, the theatrical cut, this is the only of the four movies that I think the theatrical cut is the better cut, because for 2 through 4, I think it's the extended cuts. But
yeah, so we did watch the theatrical cut for this one.
Yes, for this one, and then for all the sequels, we watched the extended cuts. In the director's cut edit, which is pretty much the same. That's the order that they've died so far.
That's crazy.
Speaking of going back to when they the crew all has the crew has like this feeling of like camaraderie, and like they've spent time together, which is especially true in Aliens, but in this first one even. And then there's that one moment like before they go down to the planet, and the other female officer, her name is Lambert, and then she kind of like gives Ripley this look, and it's like just there's this hint that there's like animosity from, even if it's just one-sided, from her to Ripley. So I like, and that's something I just noticed this time, and I thought that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like maybe a power thing, because they're both women. They both got short haircuts, and no, it's got nothing to do with it. But it's like there's something different between the two of them, as opposed to like Lambert and one of the guys, or Ripley and one of the guys, because I feel like they're trying to be like the best woman aboard, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I just love the cast of this movie too, because you got Ian Holm and Harry Dean Stanton and Sigourney Weaver and all these different like people, and they're all just like really good. And it's funny because like when I first saw this movie, I didn't even know a lot of these. I knew who Sigourney Weaver was, but and like now that I've seen more movies, I'm like, oh, I know like almost all of these actors now in other things, and I'm like that just makes it even cooler.
Yeah, because you were saying like, oh, this is that person, this is that person. I'm like, wait, what? And you're like, yeah, you don't recognize them because this is the 70s and you've seen them like in the 2000s. I was like, oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Bilbo Baggins or whatever.
Yeah, he's Ash. He's Ian Holm.
Ian Holm, Bilbo Baggins.
He's also in Garden State as Zach Braff's dad.
Oh, interesting.
This is what it does in the trailer too, but I love how the credits, like how they slowly spell out the title. Like that's so cool to me.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Apparently, Alien Covenant also does that, which is really cool.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know that for sure. That's just what I've heard. And then originally Jerry Goldsmith, the composer. Every movie also has a different composer, but for this one, it's Jerry Goldsmith, who is amazing. But he composed a full like score, and then a lot of his tracks were taken out to make the movie like scarier. So there's a lot more silence in the movie than what was originally going to be. Also in the opening, I love how we get a full interior of the ship in one shot, and then you just understand the entire geography. And it's like, more movies should do that.
Mm-hmm. It was very helpful.
My only frame of reference that I can think of is in War Games, when at the beginning they have one shot that shows like all of the command center, and then you understand the whole geography of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the chest bursting scene is horrifying, but what's also horrifying is that when John Hurt's character Kane is looking over all of the eggs like on the planet, and then the one just like pops out and gets on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is horrifying.
Such a good scene, though.
And then the chest bursting scene itself, that they later parodied that in Spaceballs. So that was where I first saw
my
that
gosh.
scene.
I need to rewatch that.
It's even the same actor, John Hurt, in that role in the Spaceballs.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then according to IMDb, when Ash is like, going crazy and like spitting out blood, but it's white. So according to IMDb, it's milk and colored water.
Gross.
I think all of the creature effects in this movie holds up. You could say that when the ship explodes, it doesn't really look that great, but to me, I like the look of it. It has this like 2001-esque aesthetic to it, even though I think the effects in 2001, like as far as compared to the ship blowing up in this, like those actually like still stand up. But I still like even though it doesn't really hold up, I still like how the look of it and like just how like artsy it is.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they took more time and energy into like the actual filmmaking of it. Yeah.
What else can we really say that everybody else has said?
I know so many people have like talked about these movies. How do you feel about like the relationships between the characters, and like how do you feel about the group cast in this movie?
Great question. I like how there's just like little conversations and like little glances between characters and just the way they interact off each other. You really get a sense without even like saying this is our backstory. Like, oh, they've gone on missions together, or they've had this kind of dynamic. You just kind of understand all of that in just a few brief moments. And I just really love that.
The meal scenes really helped get to know everyone, especially when he first has the chest popper. What's his name? Ian Holm.
Kane. Oh no. Ian Holm is Ash. He's the android. John Hurt is Kane. He's the one with the android. Let me say. So Ian Holm plays Ash the android, the one that spits out milk. He's Bilbo Baggins. Okay. John Hurt plays Kane. Kane is the one that has the chest burster come out. He's Mr. Ollivander in Harry Potter.
All right. So Ollivander, Ollivander and Bilbo.
Just call him that if you want to.
They're buddies. Who else? We've got.
Yeah, Parker and Brett. They also like get along. They also like repeat what Brett always repeats what Parker said and stuff like that. I think that's the right, because Brett is Harry Dean Stanton and Parker is Yaphet Kotto. So
Okay.
And if I said that wrong, I'm sorry.
No, I think that's right.
And I've seen him in other stuff too. I just can't remember. So he's in Nothing But a Man, Alien, obviously Blue Collar, A Midnight Run, and then he's also in Freddy's Dead, which is a terrible movie. Don't ever watch it.
Okay.
That's what I know him from.
Okay, I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, that's Nightmare on Elm Street 6.
Oh.
It is so terrible. Obviously, Harry Dean Stanton is in Twin Peaks and Pretty in Pink. But yeah, like I love that that's their friendship, is that is Parker will say something and Brett will just agree with him, and then like I think like Dallas or somebody just gives him shit about it, like you always agree with what he says, man, and he's like, well, he's got it, and then Brett's just like, well, he always has like a good point. I've seen this movie a few times. I've always like had this thought of like I didn't know if there was something between Dallas the captain and Ripley, and then that's why like Lambert was kind of like, you know, about it. But then I could be reading too deep into it. But then I'm also like, because there's not really like a romantic connection, but they have like this familiarity that's like unique to the two of them in a way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too deeply into it. But
with Dallas and
Ripley.
Ripley. Oh, okay. I was thinking Dallas and Lambert. Or does she have a connection with somebody else? I'm trying to remember. I thought that she had a connection with some person. I think it was Dallas. Let me look.
It might have been. Dallas is the captain. He's the one that gets killed in the vent. Like he's got the beard and he's like he's the one that doesn't look like Bilbo Baggins or Mr. Ollivander, or Carl, with his cup of Good Morning Joe. Good Morning America, is that what he calls it? How do I not know that? I'm just having a blank today.
It's okay. It's been a while.
I guess we did watch this a couple weeks ago.
So let's see. How did she die? She died by the alien while gathering oxygen tanks that would allow the survivors to flee the Nostromo.
I think it's her and Parker are both like they're the last two besides Ripley, and then they both die at the same time.
Maybe it's Parker I'm thinking of that she kind of had a tight relationship with.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know because we don't know these people because they're not born yet because the movie takes place in the future. So.
Whoa, dude! Apparently, she's a transgender character.
In the movie, or like...
Yeah. So this is like I'm on like Wikipedia for Alien, and it says she was born in 2093 in Canada, but was initially born male, but she underwent a sexual realignment at birth for undisclosed reasons. Interesting.
For Lambert?
For Lambert, yeah.
I did not know that.
That's very interesting.
That's got to be in a book or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's in the original like novelization. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I just, as you can tell, like I'm usually pretty good with names, but I do not really recall like who is who in this movie, obviously. Okay.
No, but so, I mean, I'm having trouble too, and I've seen it many times.
I feel like it's kind of like I didn't really get that strong of a connection to any of these characters besides Ripley. Mm-hmm. And the second one, I would say, I have like a little stronger connection, but we can get to that later.
Yeah.
Except for, like, I don't know, I just kind of like more liked how the story played out in this first one.
Yes.
The pacing, the writing, like I feel like it was all pretty structured pretty well.
No, yeah, I couldn't have said that better. I don't feel too deep of a connection to the characters, but I feel enough that like you feel their connections to each other, and then like when they die, you're not like devastated or anything.
True. Yes. Oh, we forgot the most important character.
Jonesy.
He's so cute.
Yes. Scares the shit out of them like twice.
Oh yeah. Of course. Jonesy,
yeah,
little bitch.
So the movie ends with... Is that you, or is that a quote from the movie?
I don't know. Could have been either.
Guess I'll have to watch it again and find out. I'm fine with that. I'll just go watch Alien again. Yeah, so the movie ends. Everyone's dead but Ripley. She's running through the ship with the flamethrower. Sets it to self-destruct. gets in the shuttle, and then the alien is also in the shuttle. The ship blows up, then she gets in a astronaut suit, shoots the alien out through the airlock, and then like burns it alive, and then goes into hypersleep with Jonesy.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this airlock situation, okay? If you open up an airlock on a spaceship, there's no way you're just gonna like hang on right there, and while something else is being sucked out, like you will immediately implode, right?
I don't know physics, but I assume you're right.
I'm pretty sure you cannot even have the like in the I think we can talk about that. I think it's like Alien. I think it's the last one, Resurrection, where they have like the little hole in the window.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure everything would just like immediately implode because of the tiny little like space hole, and all the pressure would just like change dramatically, and everyone would die. So I was like, when I was watching that, I was like, really? They're pulling this off? They're doing this? All right, I guess. So that was my opinion of that. But sci-fi.
I was gonna say, sci-fi. I think it's such a really cool scene and a cool like idea. But then again, I don't know anything about space.
Except for there's aliens.
Except for there's aliens and there's planet names and yeah.
Yeah.
And there's planets that aren't planets anymore, and like yeah. Maybe like 20 years from now, that'll be like a Mandela effect thing where people will be like, no, Pluto was a planet. Then we look up and it never was a planet.
Oh my god. That'd be weird.
Yeah, so yeah, Alien is really, really awesome. It's one of those movies that I would say is like perfect in my mind because I don't have any problems with it. I don't think the director's cut is bad. I just don't think it works as well because the two things that are majorly different is the pacing is trimmed a little bit in the first act. And there's like some new shots and stuff, which those all really look cool. And then there's a scene where when Ripley is the last survivor, she's running through the ship and then she finds Dallas and Brett, I believe, cocooned. And then she just like torches him. And for me, I think the scene is really cool, but I think it breaks the pacing because I think once she's on her own and running through the ship by herself, then the focus should just stay on her. But that's just my opinion. Some people do prefer the director's cut, and some people prefer the theatrical cuts of the other three movies. So
this is just our opinion, man.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I liked it. I guess sci-fi is not one of my favorite genres, but I thought it was a good movie. And we can move on to Aliens now if you want. Directed by James Cameron, the next in the series came out in 1986 and stars Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Carrie Henn, Lance Henriksen, Jeanette Goldstein, and Bill Paxton. 57 years after the first film takes place, Ellen Ripley awakes from cryosleep and gets news that her daughter has passed away during this time. She is recruited to join a group of Marines to take on the aliens again. They travel to the planet with the wrecked alien ship from the first film, only now there is a colony of humans living there. That is until the aliens wipe them all out. Using specially modified machine guns and enough firepower, it's either fight or die as the Space Marines battle against the aliens. As the Marines do their best to defend themselves, Ripley must attempt to protect Newt, a young girl who is the sole survivor of the nearly wiped out space colony. Ripley, Hicks, Newt, and Bishop escape on a small craft at the end. So we've got Ripley. She's back. She's badass. Again.
Even more so.
We've got this group of Marines. She doesn't really fit in with them at first until she feels the need to tell them all about what this alien does and how they can defeat it. So that's kind of the way she gets in with the group, and then they decide to trust her and put her in charge and everything. But at first, it's a bunch of hotheads who just can't stop talking about guns. And so, like, there's Vasquez and Bill Paxton.
Hudson. Bill Paxton is Hudson.
Okay, those are the only two I remember.
Yep, me too.
Okay, so they're the most loudmouth, especially Bill Paxton. Hudson.
Yep.
He doesn't have blue hair in this one, but what was the one he did have blue hair in? The James Cameron movie he has blue hair in, and he's only in it for like 5 seconds.
Oh, Terminator.
Yes. But he's pretty big loudmouth in this movie. Is super annoying, but he's also like very authentic and like true to his emotions.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of other people like hide their emotions and they act all tough, but he's just over here screaming and whining like a baby.
Yeah.
And then Vasquez, she's like super crazy, super strong. Everyone's kind of like afraid of her, but she's cool. She's like got the big guns for sure. So she thinks like she knows how to take out all the aliens all the time. She's pretty cocky. And then who are some of the other characters? So Hicks is who?
Hicks is Kyle Reese from the Terminator. He's
Kyle Reese. What's his real name?
Michael Biehn is his real name.
Michael Biehn. Okay.
He also plays Kyle Reese in the Terminator.
Right.
Which is also James Cameron.
Jimmy Cameron. Why wasn't he in like Avatar?
I don't know.
I don't know
why he wasn't in Avatar.
He should have been.
He should be in the sequels. The 4
Maybe
sequels.
he will be.
That would be great. Kate Winslet is going to be in it.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Yeah.
How do you spell bean?
It's B-I... Is it I-E or E-I?
Oh. Maybe I-E?
I-E-H-N.
I-E-H-N.
He's also in Grease. Who is he in Grease? Oh, he's also in The Abyss. So he is a James Cameron veteran.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Who is he in Grease? Oh, yeah, I know who he is. He's the guy when in Greece when Danny is playing when he's trying to do sports and he's playing like baseball or whatever. And then he's like the catcher that he like snaps his like face guard or whatever that thing's called. That's Michael Biehn.
Oh my god, that's funny. Do you remember that movie from 2002 called Clock Stoppers?
Yes.
Because he's
With
in that.
French Stewart? Yeah, he's in that.
Why is he in that?
Clock Stoppers. I think French Stewart's in that.
Yeah, he is. Who's French Stewart, though? What else is he in?
He's in Third Rock from the Sun. He's in Inspector Gadget 2. He's in Home Alone 4.
Oh, your favorite.
Oh, God, don't get me started on that. Hicks is awesome. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty like down-to-earth, easygoing dude.
Yeah. He's like one of the most level-headed of all the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Burke, who says he's okay, but he's just a scumbag. And then it's funny because like throughout the movie, Satoon had not seen this, so we just watched it. We didn't watch it in one sitting, but we finished it yesterday. His response was just like at first he was like Ripley, where he was distrustful of Bishop, and then with Burke like once Burke like turns the camera off, like when Ripley and Newt are calling for help, and then he just like turns it off and pretends they're not there. I forget exactly what he said, but he basically said something like, "Oh no, like screw you, like that's awful." But
okay, right. So what's his name?
Burke, yes.
Yeah, so now I'm just remembering what his character is. So he's like the guy who you think you like him in the beginning, but then he turns out to be like the evil mastermind behind it all.
Yep.
And yeah, our minds changed with Bishop and Burke. So Bishop's the AI. Yep. Android, sorry.
Played by Lance Henriksen, who's also in the Terminator.
Okay.
He's one of the cops in the Terminator.
Oh, okay.
There's like the two cops that we follow for a bit. He's one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn, Lance Henriksen is in a lot of movies. I was not aware. I've seen him in a lot more than I thought. He's in also in Dog Day Afternoon, Close Encounters, Scream 3, Tarzan, Near Dark. Yes, and then we have Newt, the little girl. What did you think of Newt?
I liked her. I thought she was a pretty good actress as well as character. So yeah, her family all gets eaten by the aliens, and then she's left behind, and she can kind of tell them how to get around the spaceship because she's been exploring it a little bit, running around from the alien as well. And then we learn at the beginning that Ripley had a daughter, but since she was in hypersleep for 57 years, her daughter has since passed away. So then we get this kind of emotional feeling. We're like, oh, Ripley, poor Ripley, she's a mother. We didn't know that before. But so then she kind of creates this bond with Newt. It's a very strong connection, and that kind of plays out throughout the second half of the movie, which I thought was really sweet.
Me too.
I did like the more of the characters in this film than the first one. I feel like they had more dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And Hicks, I wish we could have gotten to know him a little bit better, but
Yeah.
let's see. So what happens, when does the alien first come out?
So it's when they're exploring the colony and they find that it's deserted except for Newt, and like there's like alien like blood all over the like and like all the then they go in the room and they find all the Marines, they find all these cocoons, and the aliens like start to like one of the aliens like bursts out of like some woman's chest, and then like and then they all start coming out, and then it just becomes a madhouse and a lot of them die.
Okay.
And then from then it's like Hudson, Vasquez, Hicks, Ripley, Newt, Burke, and then Bishop, and then like a couple other people, I think. Gorman.
And they're basically just trying to booby trap the aliens the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I feel like it went. They just tried to...
Yeah.
They're like, all right, let's try this. Oh, they survived? All right, let's try this. Although, so there's a scene where they set up their guns to be like automatic and then shoot the aliens as they get closer and move, but then the guns run out of ammo and the aliens like still get through. But it's like in the next few movies, it's so like much easier to kill them with guns, I think. So I was kind of like disappointed that they didn't really keep that continuity with it. But because I thought it was pretty intense in this second movie where like, oh my gosh, they have these powerful guns and it's not doing anything. So they have to really be creative and dump them in a pile of, or dump it in iron. Is that in this one? Or like a
no, that's the third. That's the third one when they dump
okay.
it, when they dump the iron on it.
Okay. So how did they?
This one they just go in guns ablaze.
Guns ablaze. Oh yeah, because the third. Okay, yeah. All right. How does this one end?
So this one ends where Newt gets taken by the queen alien, because there's a queen alien, and then Ripley has to go down and save her, and then it's like the two moms like fighting basically.
Oh.
And then Ripley torches all the queen's eggs because there's a shit ton of eggs down there, and then the queen chases after them, and then they get up in the elevator on the ship. Then they get out, and the planet blows up, and then so it's Bishop, Hicks, Ripley, and Newt on the ship, and then Ripley kind of has a moment where she like accepts Bishop and like goes through her little arc with him, and then the queen like stabs one of its like claws through Bishop and like rips him in half. And then, but he still works because he's an android. And then Ripley gets in the mech suit and fights the queen. And then the same thing happens with the airlock, where they both fall into the airlock, and Ripley opens it, and the queen falls out. And then
That's right. Okay.
And then they all go to sleep, and then that's the end of the movie, and that's the end of the story for a lot of people.
Yes. So if you're a happy ending type of person, that's the end of the story. That little suit thing. I love that, like, Jimmy C brings it back in Avatar, full on, those suits that they wear. It's like the same exact thing. I'm sure that was fun for, like, a lot of people who loved Alien to, like, go see Avatar and be like, oh, what's that thing?
Also, because Sigourney Weaver's in that movie. She doesn't, unfortunately, she doesn't drive one of those things.
Yeah,
but
missed opportunity. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Jimmy.
Come on, Jimmy.
For me, I definitely prefer the first movie. It's like, for me, the intense like build before you see the alien is, for me, works better in the first movie. And then I think like once the aliens are loose, like in this one, it's like that's when the movie really gets going. I still think it's a worthy sequel, just not as good. And I like that they waited 7 years for this one to come out, and then 6 years for the third one, and 5 years for the fourth one.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the title is just amazing because it's like, it's like, oh, one alien, look, it killed a whole crew, and now it's like aliens. It's like, oh, wow.
Yes. Now there's a bunch. So yeah, I do like that consistency. Except they don't keep going with that with the titles in the future.
Yeah, because then the third one can't be aliens as.
Aliens is.
I also love the scene when like Ripley is getting like briefed by the company, and then she's just like calling them out, like like she's like, did IQs just drop sharply when I was away? And I'm
imagine
like, yes.
how frustrated you would be though. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Trying to explain to them like, guys, please take me seriously, and they're just like, nah. That
one scene when Burke shows up and first tells her that it's been like 57 years, and then like that's like reality, and then it like becomes a dream sequence, and the aliens like coming out of her.
Oh, yeah.
That's such an interesting way to do exposition, is like, oh, it's a dream, but then the first half of the scene really did happen.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was interesting.
So I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
One of the scenes that's only in the extended cut is obviously the stuff with Ripley's daughter, which I think should be in the movie because, it's a big part of why the movie, why the connection works with her and Newt. Not saying it wouldn't work anyway, but I think it works even better, because they both lost a mother and a daughter, and they kind of fill that role for each other.
Right, of course. I agree.
So, like, in the first third of the movie, another one of the cut scenes is when you see Newt and her family in the colony, when the colony is, like, thriving and whatever. Do you think, like the movie would work better if, like, we don't see the colony until they get there? Or do you like how it's, like, the juxtaposition of, like, this is when it's thriving, and then when they get there, it's, like, everything's gone to hell?
Oh, I definitely like seeing it before because it also gives, like, a good impression of how time has passed. And
yes,
it's not just like, oh, yeah, 57 years. Now we have this technology that goes beep boop instead of doop doop. You can see how civilization has advanced, and then you kind of get more of a sense for the people on the colony and Newt and her family and everything like that.
Yeah. There's the dialogue where Ripley's like, this is what I'm doing for a job now. And Burke's like, oh yeah, you're like in the warehouse working with forklifts. And I'm like, that's also kind of cool how they set that up twice,
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a throwaway line. And then like later when they're trading, like Ripley's like, I can work one of these things. And she shows it. And then Hicks is like super impressed.
That's true.
And I think that's the moment when he's like, like into her, like at first.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last time we see Jonesy because he stays. He doesn't go on the trip, and then
Jonesy.
we never see him again. I love the line when Bill Paxton's like, "You ever been mistaken for a man, Vasquez?" And she's like, "No, have you?" And then she's also in Terminator 2. She's the foster mom. So do you remember that scene? Do you remember when we watched that scene, or when we talked about that scene? I said like she's Vasquez in Aliens, and then now it's like you've seen Aliens. You're like, oh.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you remember the scene, like, with the foster dad yelling at the dog, and then she, like, puts her arm out, and then, like it's Robert Patrick?
Gets the stabby stab?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's weird that she's, like, white, but she's, like, portraying a Hispanic person?
Yeah, what is her nationality? Let's look at that.
I don't think she's Hispanic. So I don't know why they did that, or that's pretty bad, nowadays.
Yeah, Jeanette Goldstein. She's an American actress. She's in Aliens and then Terminator 2. She's also in Titanic. Do you remember the scene in Titanic when it's like she's like the Irish mom? That's her credit roll. So it's like I think that she's the one, like she's like reading like her kids the story, like when the ship is flooding and it's so sad.
Oh God.
Do you remember that part?
I don't want to remember that part.
Okay, then I'll stop talking about it.
I always skip the end.
The second tape is better.
No.
Both tapes are great, but the second half is more emotional. It's so sad.
Anyway, what you were saying?
So I like that her major arc is with Newt, and then like her more minor arc is with Bishop.
Mm-hmm. Very dynamic.
Tulin brought up a good point with this movie. With both these movies, he basically said like all these movies is that no one ever listens to Ripley and she's always right. And I'm like, yeah, that's accurate.
And it continues on.
And then there's a line where Bishop says something like they tried removing this face hugger, but then they killed the guy taking it off, like one of the colonists or whatever that was there before. And then that's what happened in the first movie. It was like when they tried taking it off of Kane, and then then it started to like tighten its grip on him,
Yeah.
And then I love that I love the line like too when she says to Burke like,
Burke, I don't know which species is worse. You don't see them fucking each other over for a goddamn percentage.
He's like a slimy guy.
Slimy corporate sponsor guy.
Yeah, he got himself some corporate sponsors.
Yeah, he's a slimy scumbag too, so the alien might be more humane than him.
Yes. I think this is the best battle of mothers ever in anything. If you count I guess Bellatrix isn't the mother, but if you count Mrs. Weasley's fight in Deathly Hallows Part 2, it's like those two, like top tier moms fighting for their children is Ripley and Mrs. Weasley.
I'm picturing a dinosaur movie where a dinosaur mom is fighting, but I think she's fighting a male T-Rex. It's like a female T-Rex fighting a spiky male I think it might be the movie Dinosaur.
Land Before Time?
No, I think it's just Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. God, I've seen that, and it's been so long. I've seen that movie though. I know I've seen it probably. I know like I might have seen it multiple times. I don't remember, but I know I saw it as a kid, and then like I remember watching it on VHS, like renting it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
It's probably on to Plus. There's that scene where Ripley is like,
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Fucking A. Oh, hold on 1 second. This installation has a substantial dollar value attached to it.
They can bill me.
Look, I'm not blind to what's going on, but I cannot authorize that kind of action. I'm sorry.
Well, I believe Corporal Hicks has authority here.
I say we take off, nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yes.
it's awesome.
She's like, love me, baby. And he's like, I love you,
Yes.
baby. And then
Yeah, that's another way to describe it.
basically.
Although that might be more of the first Terminator you're thinking of.
Oh, you're right. Okay, who's better, Sarah Connor or Ellen Ripley? I mean, Ellen Ripley.
Oh God, I was just gonna say, yeah. It's a toss up. I love both of them. They're both amazing. They're both so well written and so like inspiring. And
But if you had to choose one to live and one to die, well, that doesn't make sense. Okay, take them out of their stories, and they were.
What is so interesting is that both of them have the same arc. Sarah's arc in Terminator 1 and 2 is the same as Ripley's arc in Alien and Aliens. Except Ripley's stronger from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like more headstrong from the get-go. But both of their arcs are the same.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's think. Because I was going to go with what movie I like better. And I'm like, I like Terminator 2 more than Aliens. But I like Alien more than Terminator. So it's a toss-up.
I
don't know if I can pick. That's really hard.
That is really hard. Because I enjoy when Sarah Connor she starts off as the most normal girl and then like comes into her heroism. She has some are here we go. Some are born great and some have greatness thrust upon them. And that's the difference between Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor. In my opinion.
Couldn't have said it better. Although Michael Biehn gets to, he has a relationship with both of them. So.
Well, he's the real winner, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he's the real winner. The difference is that he and Sarah have John, and then Kyle and Sarah do, and then Hicks and Ripley, they just kind of adopt Newt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they both have kids, except this time Hicks gets to actually interact with the kid. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's not true, because Kyle does get to interact with John. It's just when he's older.
Yeah.
So forget that. And also, that's spoilers. So,
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Kyle Reese dies. It's sad. And then Hicks dies, and it's sad too. So the Alien Queen took, I believe, I want to say it's like 14 people to maneuver the puppet, and then even more people to do the arms and legs.
Oh my goodness.
Which is freaking insane. Okay, so I'm going to say this note also. When the scene where the Marines are talking and like eating dinner together, they shot those scenes last because so then the actors would have more bonding between them. Good job, Jimmy. Yeah, so the entire construct of the Alien Queen required 14 to 16 crew members to operate. At the time of filming, it was the largest, most complex puppet ever created. And it still holds up.
Wow.
Yeah, so do you want to move on to Alien Cubed, or do you have anything else on Aliens?
Nope, let's go. Directed by David Fincher, the third film in the series came out in 1992 and stars Sigourney Weaver, Charles S. Dutton, Charles Dance, and Paul McGann. Ripley and her crew crash land onto a planet used for a maximum security prison. Upon waking, she is given the news that Newt, Hicks, and Bishop have all died as a result of the crash. However, an alien was also aboard the ship and escapes, terrorizing the prisoners. Once again, Ripley must face skepticism and the alien as it hunts down the prisoners and the guards. Without weapons or modern technology of any kind, Ripley leads the men into battle. She believes she has an alien inside of her and ultimately sacrifices herself for the greater good to destroy the creature. Okay, prison drama. I enjoyed this one.
I like it too. I like this movie a lot, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have as many notes because I didn't take notes while we were watching it because I just wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't take notes during any, if you can't tell.
That's okay. Professionalism 101. So Ripley was demoted in the second movie, but then this movie they classify her as a lieutenant. And then I don't know if it's a continuity error or not, because I believe, like Burke says, like if she goes on the mission, they'd reinstate her. So I don't know if it is a continuity error or not. There's the parallel scene. I like this movie has some parallel scenes to the first one, but the only one I wrote down was that the scene where she brings Bishop back and talks to his head. It's a parallel to the first movie when they're talking to Ash's head. And it's like all like messed up, and then she's talking to Bishop's head and it's all messed up.
Oh yeah.
Also the fact that like Bishop like asks to be disconnected and basically, kill himself.
Yeah.
That, like she kills him is also really upsetting because like he was the only member of the family left. Because it's like Hicks is the dad, Ripley's the mom, and then Bishop's like the uncle, I guess.
He's the butler.
Yeah, he's the butler. What do you do? I buttle, sir.
And this movie has British accents.
It does.
So it automatically makes it better. Who's the director?
Sorry. The second one's directed by James Cameron, obviously. The third one is directed by David Fincher. Later of fame such as Zodiac, Seven, The Social Network, Gone Girl.
Fight Club.
Fight Club, of course. So this was David Fincher's first movie, and there's a long and troubled production history. And there is a YouTube video where these two guys are talking about the movie, and they go into really deep depth about it, and it's really cool. So I think I'll put that in the, if you want to, we can put that in. If you don't mind, we can put that in the description.
Okay.
By Chris Stuckman and Matt Brando. And Chris Stuckman is just one of my favorite people ever. Like, he's so inspiring. But then him and his friend Matt, they made a video where they're talking about Alien 3, like all the different like screenplays that were written and all the different directors that were attached, and then they talk about like both cuts of the movie and like their different opinions of it, and it's just really like fascinating.
Okay. So
yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's one of my favorite reviews on YouTube, but it's up there. I really like it. It's really informative. So Sigourney Weaver was nominated for Best Actress for Aliens, which is really cool. So then for this movie, she had a couple of things that she wanted to happen. She didn't want to have any guns on the prison planet, which I actually like that idea.
Oh yeah.
Like the line where she's like,
"This is a maximum security prison, and you have no weapons of any kind."
But yeah, like that line is really cool, and like I love that idea because it makes it they have to find more creative ways to kill the alien. Like, is it a little implausible? Yeah, but like, I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
It's way more fun. I just get so bored of gunfire, and the way they do things in this one is way more entertaining, I think.
Yeah. The other thing she wanted to do is she wanted to explore having a sexual relationship with the xenomorph, which did not happen, but it kind of did because she might have an alien inside of her. So
right.
But I think she was thinking more of like So yeah.
Weirdo.
Hey, I'm not I mean, yeah, it's weird, but I'm not gonna judge somebody for that.
No, definitely not. Sex sells.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge Sigourney Weaver because like Sigourney Weaver's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I take it back.
No, you're cool. like have your own opinion, of course. So the other best character in the movie besides Ripley is Clemens, played by Charles Dance. And he unfortunately is not in the movie for as long as I would have liked. But it does tie into the theme of Ripley losing everyone she loves because the universe is cruel. And this movie's super depressing.
Oh, right. Tywin Lannister.
Yes. Yeah. He's like the doctor that she has like a relationship with.
Okay, yeah. I was like, who are you talking about? Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about him, sadly. Because, yeah, he is the best.
Yeah, he's great. He's my favorite character in the movie other than Ripley.
Yeah, I would agree.
I actually really like admire how how subversive this movie is, because it's like a movie being made today wouldn't start off being super depressing and have Newton Hicks like just freaking die and have Ripley not only be the only survivor, but she lands on a prison planet full of murderers and rapists and all these kinds of horrible like crimes that these people have committed.
Yeah.
And then, just but then the whole movie is just like this just like depressing somber movie, and then there's a little bit of like hope sprinkled throughout and like at the end, and like it's like it's kind of like it's a little bit like Shawshank Redemption, except it's like much more like it's more downbeat. It's more about like the semblance of hope rather than the theme of hope, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
One of my favorite Ripley lines of all time, and there's a lot of them, of course. One of the best lines but I think actually the best line in the movie, if one of the best, if not the best, is when Ripley goes to sit down in the cafeteria, and then she's talking to what's his name, Charles S. Dutton's character. He's the really big guy.
Yeah, well, you don't want to know me, lady. I'm a murderer and rapist of women.
Really? Well, I guess I must make you nervous.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that Bishop comes back for a scene.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 scenes, even though it's different bishops. But yeah, just like I was really digging Ripley's relationship with Charles Dance, with Tywin. Is his name Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones? With like those two, I was really like that was like the part of the movie I was like vibing with, and then like he just dies, and I'm just like, oh no.
I know. I was like, what the? Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise we don't get. We need to keep breaking Ripley down so she can keep hardening back up and building her thick skin. So.
Yeah. I also really like the line she says to the alien where she's like, "You've been in my life so long, you're the only thing I can remember."
Yeah. She's found by people who work for the prison. Is that right?
Yeah, she's found by Clemens, I think, by Tywin.
Okay.
Right?
Because they crash landed.
Yeah, so there's an alien egg on board, and then they crash land, and then because they eject, and then she's found like in the like covered in like dirt and lice and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, and so she's the only one who survives, besides Bishop for like a little bit. Or does no? She reboots Bishop, doesn't she? And then
and then he asks to be killed.
Then takes him back. Yeah, the characters in this one I also didn't really feel that connected to, but I just enjoyed more of the story, I guess, of how they are on this prison planet, and it's even, let's see, so we don't know how much time has passed. Not that much time has passed between the second one and the third one, right? No, okay. I think a lot of the killings, like when the alien kills the prisoners, was cool. I think they had a lot of good effects for that. Like when that guy gets sucked into the fan.
That spin he does, though.
Oh yeah, he's like falling down the tunnel for like 3 minutes before he gets chopped up in the fan. She really earns her respect in this one too, like she does in the second one. And it to me, it was just kind of baffling that she would be totally fine in there with all of these criminals, who, like haven't seen a woman in years, but
yeah. Well, there is the one scene where they try to, and then Charles Dutton comes by, and then he's like,
I gotta re-educate some of the brothers.
And he's got like brain matter on the end of like the lead pipe or whatever.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, I forgot about that part.
That's right before she reboots Bishop.
Okay. So then the real Bishop comes in at the end.
Yeah.
So the guy who designed Bishop the android shows up. Why? Why does he show up? Oh, right. Because the company is coming to the prison planet because they know that they have the alien there and they want to take it and they want to study it and bring it back to Earth and infiltrate the whole planet.
Yep. Which just means everyone's dead.
Yep. Okay, so he's part of that company. What's the company called?
The Wayland Company.
Wayland. Yeah, this was it also like wasn't too actiony. Like I would say Aliens was the most action packed, and so it was the one where I kind of didn't really pay attention to the last bit of it because it was just, you know, shooting and stuff. Mm-hmm. And this one I felt like it was more adventure rather than action, I guess. So it held my attention a little bit more. But
yeah,
that's about it. I mean, when they first show up and everyone's dead, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think my only other thing I wish that I don't like as much in the movie is like, I think the POV shot is cool, like the idea of it, but they do use it quite a bit, and it's just like a squished camera, and that's a little weird. I don't think it's as suspenseful as like when you don't see the alien because you're seeing it from their perspective. I think ironically that's the section of the movie that like drags the most for me. Like the first like half or 2/3 or whatever are all like really intriguing with like Charles Dance and with like just the character stuff. And then like when the movie becomes an alien movie is almost where it loses me in a way. Mm-hmm. And then like the ending is like so good. Like the last like 15 minutes or whatever. Like when they're like once it's just down to like Ripley and the other guy and they're just like running from it and then they like burn it like with the lava or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you said it was. And then like metal. Ripley sees like some kind of metal. And then like Ripley meets Bishop and like that whole thing is just so amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree with all.
Oh, okay. I love that. I just love that scene so much with the real Bishop and then how like how Ripley just doesn't trust him because he works for the company and then like but then that's one thing that's different is in the assembly cut it's it like the alien doesn't pop out of her, she just like falls into the furnace and dies, and it's like ambiguous whether it was really in her or not. And then or like if she could have been saved, you know, because there was enough time. But then like in the theatrical cut, like the alien like pops out and she like holds it like it's her baby, and then they fall into the lava together.
Whoa.
Like she jumps and then it comes out, and then that's how the theatrical cut ends.
Whoa.
Yeah. Also, one of the other major differences is in this one the alien is birthed from an ox, and in the theatrical cut it's birthed from a dog, and it's like, don't kill the dog.
Don't kill the dog. Come on.
Well, they killed Newton Hicks, so I guess that no one's safe in this movie. Not even Ripley's not safe.
Yeah, because she dies. So yeah, then that's another like ending of if you weren't satisfied with the ending of Aliens, and then now this could be your ending if you really wanted. Or you can move on to Alien Resurrection like we did.
Yes, which should have been called Aliens 4, because there was more than one Alien, one alien, Aliens multiple, Alien 3, there's only one alien.
Right.
And Alien Resurrection, there's multiple. So why wouldn't you call it Aliens 4? Then that'd be consistent.
Come on, people.
Or they could have called 3 Alienses. That'd have been fine.
Alienses.
Aliens Resurrection. Recap, blah, blah, blah.
Directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, the 4th film in the series came out in 1997 and stars, you guessed it, Sigourney Weaver. Also Winona Ryder and a bunch of other dudes who aren't as cool. The saga continues 200 years after Ripley sacrificed herself for the sake of humanity. This time, it is the military that resurrects her through genetic cloning to extract the alien from within her. But during the process, her DNA is fused with the Queen alien, and the aliens escape. Now Ripley must decide where her allegiance lies. Oh, let's see what I remember. I remember Winona Ryder.
Yeah, she's the android in this one. Spoilers right out of the...
She's the surprise android. Winona Ryder's the android.
Yeah.
She's very cool. I love her.
Yeah, she's great in everything I've seen her in.
But then every other character sucks. Like, they're such douchebags. I hate all the men in this movie.
Yeah, they all suck. Ron Perlman's in it. Brad Dourif's in it. He's like the mad scientist.
Yeah.
Warwick from CSI. Gary Jordan is in it. This one is Ripley's clone. It's like 200 years after Alien Resurrection. Sigourney's actually got some really funny one-liners in this movie.
Yeah, I enjoy her character in this movie a lot.
So, Who do I have to fuck to get off this boat?
It's different, but it's still Ripley-esque, but it's like we get a whole new side of her. She's unfiltered.
Yeah, so they're on a ship and they're heading to Earth.
Earth. And these people are what? What do they do?
They're mercenaries.
I don't know what that means.
Mercenaries. Soldier for individual, particularly a soldier, who takes part in military conflict for personal profit, otherwise an outsider to the conflict and not a member of any official military. So they're just in it for the money, not the science. It's the crew of the ship, the Betty.
That's right. Oh, yeah. So we've got this crew, but then they go to this other ship and they have to convince that crew that they're chill.
The small ship docks into the larger ship, and that's where the
Yeah.
actual characters are.
Yes. Small ship is the mercenaries. The big ship is the one with the cloning everything in Ripley.
Yes.
Okay.
They clone Ripley, and then they get the alien out of her, and then, like, Brad Dourif is the scientist, and he's, like attracted to the alien, basically. And then he's, like, studying it, and then the alien breaks out and kills him and everybody, and then it's Ripley and the mercenaries.
Okay.
That's what I remember. I could be wrong.
Nope. Yep. Makes sense. Who directed this one again? Oh, yeah. The French guy.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet, director of The City of Lost Children and Amelie, and Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, so it kind of has like a little French filminess to it, I would say.
I would say the style definitely does.
It's very fun stylistically. It's just really intense and kind of sensual.
Yeah.
Well, Winona and Ripley, their relationship goes kind of roller coastery, but eventually they end up fighting together.
They kind of have tension.
Yeah.
Like there's scenes where it's like, okay.
They have guns in this one, kinda. They don't for a long time because they're supposed to surrender their weapons once they get on the ship. But then this one guy has guns attached to his arms, so he can't help it.
Yeah. It's like Wolverine. Like, he can't put the guns down.
Right. And then what else happens? God damn it. It's just aliens. They just run around. They try to kill the aliens, and the aliens kill them. That's about it.
And then you think Winona dies, but then she comes back and she's an android.
Oh, yeah.
They reveal that she's an android. There's also all the other failed Ripley clones, and Ripley has to kill them all.
Ooh, that was awesome. I love that.
That was so awesome. Then there's the newborn alien that decides Ripley is its mom, not the queen alien.
Oh,
so then the queen alien's like,
yeah.
like harvesting all the and cocooning everybody, and then the newborn like doesn't kill Ripley, and then they have to kill the newborn, and it goes through the little circle in the airlock.
Yeah, she like pierces a hole in the airlock, and then it gets sucked out all the way through. That was pretty cool.
That was so cool. That was amazing.
But she like makes it trust her, and then she betrays it. But she has to, even though she loves it. It's like you have a bad addiction or something, and you're like, you enjoy it, and it's part of your life, but you know you have to get rid of it and stop it.
Yeah. Then they land on Earth, and then they sit down amidst the apocalypse.
So this is Earth, huh?
This is Earth.
It's my first time here. Suppose the military will be sniffing around here pretty soon. Bet you're not too anxious to see them.
Not really.
You know, a person could get pretty lost around here if they wanted to. What do you think? What should we do?
I don't know. I'm a stranger here myself.
Yeah, they have this beautiful scene where they end up on a deserted Earth, or so it looks, and then they're in Paris, of course, because Jean-Pierre.
Then it's actually a prequel to WALL-E, because in WALL-E, Sigourney Weaver voices the computer. I believe she voices the computer. So that's Ripley's voice. If you didn't know, WALL-E is actually Alien 5.
Yeah.
Or it's running at the same time as Alien Resurrection, because there's no humans on Earth; they're just in space, like
That's
in Alien
true.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
The Earth looks kind of similar. If at the time they had made a fifth one with Sigourney Weaver and Winona walking around like apocalyptic Earth, would you have seen it?
I don't know. That sounds pretty interesting to me.
It does. Neil Blomkamp was talking about doing another movie that like ignores Alien 3 and 4 and just picks up from Aliens. So it'd be like Ripley, Newton, Hicks. And I'm like, I would also love to see that.
Yeah.
And then Ridley Scott made Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and I think he's gonna make one more movie, and then it's gonna be like it connects to into Alien, so it's like the prequel trilogy.
Okay.
I really don't have many thoughts on Alien Resurrection. It's just a very weird, stylized movie, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Me too.
It's so out there, but I love that about it.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the trailer to that movie.
What's that one like?
It's very different from the first Alien, which makes sense because it's a very different movie.
Yeah.
I'll find that one too. I know we're going to have a lot of links, but I'll find that one too.
It's okay. Yeah, I remember you asked me at one point, you're like, did you ever think that when you started watching Alien, we would end up here? I'm like, no, definitely not.
Well, it's because that's what you asked me with Twin Peaks. And then
Yeah.
that was like on part 15 or whatever. We still had like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, and boy, does a lot of things change in the last 3 episodes of The Return.
Oh, yeah. Even in the last episode alone. Then the last other thing I wanted to share on YouTube was there's a YouTuber named Oliver Harper, and he does movie reviews, and they're always so all encompassing. Like he'll give a recap of the plot, he'll give his own opinion, then he'll talk about like the production, the effects, the casting, the soundtrack, and it's like so all inclusive, and it's great. And also he has like a British voice, and it's awesome.
Oh, okay.
His videos are like 30 to 40 minutes long, and he goes through all 4 Alien movies, and he does that for a lot of movies. Like he has some for like Dune, Legend, Neverending Story, Highlander, so it's really cool.
Okay. So yeah, thanks for making me watch these movies because I enjoyed them.
It wasn't like a force you to watch it, was it? Like,
No. I definitely wanted to see them because I can't believe I hadn't seen them. And I was ashamed of myself. So now I have. Now I feel better.
You don't need to feel ashamed, Maddie.
Okay. No, thank you.
One other thing I want to say about Alien Resurrection is that the shot where Ripley throws the basketball, that was done for real on the last take.
Yeah.
So that was so great. Also the DVD and Blu-ray sets, the Alien Quadrilogy DVD set and the Alien Anthology Blu-ray set are exquisite. Like 2 of the best box sets ever released for cinema.
Now we can talk about some things we've watched. Probably don't have enough time to tell us all that we've watched within the past month or however long, but maybe it's just some highlights, some best
yeah,
stuff.
Sure. So I watched quite a lot of things. So I will narrow it down. So Tuin showed me 2 movies I hadn't seen. He showed me Secret of Nim and The Fugitive, and I had never seen either of those all the way through, and I liked both of them.
Okay.
I watched a documentary called Kid 90. It was like child stars in the 90s, and it was from the perspective of Soleil Moon Frye is her name. She was Punky Brewster in the 90s, which I have never seen. But it was a really good documentary. It was about like her and like she knew like a bunch of people. It was like a bunch of 90s actors like knew each other when they were kids or teenagers, and it was like her describing her life and stuff like that. And it was good. It was sad. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
She talks a little bit about Jonathan Brandis and like how she knew him and how he was like so great in real life and how like they were really close, and then like it was sad when he died. And then I'm like and that was why I wanted to see it because I'd heard like it was like footage of him, and I'm like that was great.
Yeah.
But also like she was friends, like she knew like Leo DiCaprio and Charlie Sheen and like Balthazar Getty's in it too for a little bit, and like so that it was just interesting.
Okay.
And then I watched the new James Gunn movie, The Suicide Squad. It was good. I liked it a lot. So I had not seen the movie Blank Check, the Disney movie. And Tuin was like, Jake, let's watch Blank Check. So we did, and I will never be the same. It is if anyone who's listening has not seen it, don't ever watch it. It's not very good. Albert from Twin Peaks is in it, and unfortunately he cannot save that movie. And then because Tuin had graciously shown me Blank Check, I then said to him, I'm going to show you Home Alone 4. And I'm like, okay, I'm paying you back for this. We'll watch Aliens, but first we're going to watch Home Alone 4. And then Home Alone 4 we both agreed is not as bad as Blank Check, so I still have to find something that's that bad.
Yeah, oh god. That sounds so terrible.
So that was an interesting double feature that we did over 2 days.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. I watched a bunch of horror movies because I can't stop, and what stood out to me was the Fear Street series on Netflix.
Ooh, I want to watch those.
They were very good. I was not expecting them to be good, but then my coworker was like, well, maybe we should just give them a shot. I was like, okay. So I watched the first one. I was like, okay, that was a lot better than I thought. And then it has a storyline connecting all 3 of them. So I was just initially just going to watch the last one, but you had to watch like the first and second one to kind of get what happens in the last one.
You just wanted to watch the last one?
Yeah, I just wanted, because it's like a period piece, like in 1666. So,
okay.
I mean, they're all period pieces. One is in 94, one is in 78. So they were all like really stylized with the time period, which was really fun. And the acting was pretty good overall, I'd say. And it was scary. And the storyline was awesome. So I recommend this. Then I also watched I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997. And I am like surprised I hadn't seen that one either. Oh my god, it was so funny.
I would definitely want to see that. Is Freddie Prinze in that one?
Yeah, Freddie Prinze, Sarah Michelle Gellar,
yes.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, and this other douchebag. And I was actually really impressed by the filmmaking quality of it. Like the lighting was really good, I thought, and really good costume choices, and just like basic filmmaking things that I was impressed with. But it was like, you know, kind of like a gimmicky 90s slasher movie. But I really enjoyed it. That's all I'm gonna say. The rest were kind of like meh.
Okay.
Yeah, so we both watched Candyman.
We did. The original Candyman.
1988?
88. I still have not watched the new one yet.
Me either.
And I totally forgot. And then I just remembered now, and I'm like, dang it.
We're gonna do that. Because the original was good.
I was visibly confused and disturbed for a lot of it. But I still enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. It's a very interesting movie.
Yeah, it has a lot of twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely not straightforward at all.
No.
So it was good. We watched it for free on Vudu. I did. Jake has the DVD. And tell him about the special features, Jake.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, if you want to know how I got that DVD, you can check the previous episodes. I believe it's the Electric Dreams episode and the one after that. So the special features on the DVD. When you put the DVD in, it has play and setup. There's no scene selections. There's no bonus features. It is like such an old DVD style, but when you put the DVD in, it has the new Universal logo on the front. And I'm like, okay, that is really odd. So the special features include English subtitles, English audio, and a menu. Yeah, great special features.
So bad.
It has English subtitles and English closed captioning.
Oh, wow. So special.
Isn't that the same thing?
I guess, like, English closed cap, or one might be different for, like, the hearing impaired as opposed to the other, but so special.
Right.
So special. Okay, so we are excited to get into fall, September, October, spooky season. We're going to continue watching horror movies. And It's our favorite part, like also that and Christmas movies. So we're going to like get into the holiday spirit, and we're going to do some podcasts and just kind of crank them out with our favorite holiday movies.
Yeah, and we don't know when that'll be. We'll probably, I imagine we'll watch a lot of movies, and then we'll just pick out our favorites and be like, okay, this is one we want to do an episode on. So we'll be more selective, which is totally cool.
Thank you all for listening to our season 1. I appreciate you.
Yes, we appreciate all of you. We have almost reached 100 followers on Instagram, which is so great. So thank you for following and listening to us, and we just love doing this, and we just want to keep doing it.
This is Madison.
And this is Jake.
signing off.